I don't actually need to be, but I'm bundled up because I was outside walking around. Um, Find your free. What's up, y'all? It's a beautiful day here. Beautiful evening, really, here in Sao Paulo, in Brazil. And I just wanted to chit chat a little bit because I feel like sometimes I'm in this vortex, as I titled this video, where I don't even feel that connected to the rest of the world. I have to work to actually stay connected and stay abreast of things, which I really don't work at it. I just have certain people who are always putting information in my ear or trying to keep me up to date on a lot of stuff. But yeah, I'm gonna wait and see if anybody comes on before I start putting a lot of energy into this video. But I hope everyone's having a great evening. I'll show you some art while I wait. Hey, okay, somebody came on pretty quick tonight. That's usually I wait here like 15 minutes. It's Imara, and we are coming to you straight from Sao Paulo, Brazil. Let's see if anyone really comes on and actually stays on. But yeah, I wanted to talk to you about this energy because I've been getting pretty inspired by a lot of the content creators lately, the sisters that are making videos about all the amazing benefits for Black women in leaving America and getting out in the world. And then I wanted to bring that video to you straight from Brazil, straight from South America, somewhere that I often come to when I need to just go and feel normal again. When I've gotten tired of living in the US, when I've gotten tired of living in anywhere that's US connected, and just want to get away from everything and really feel like I'm in this unique vortex of energy that feels very, very just normal and humane and natural in a certain type of way. I usually will come down here to Brazil. A lot of times it's Latin America for me somewhere, but I really, really love down here. I just feel like it's an opportunity to really um, have a completely different experience on this planet, something totally different from what, is typically occurring, typically going on, and especially in the US, because right now I find the US to be quite strange. It's usually strange, but it has gotten even weirder as of late. And it's just so ironic because I know they just dropped that news that the so-called president that's in now wasn't going to be running again. And it's just funny because just a few weeks ago, my girlfriend was like, yeah, she's an astrologer. She was like, he's gonna pull out. Just watch. He's about to pull out. They're trying to set it up so the other one, y'all know who I'm talking about, can come back in. And now they got this sister that they are pushing out to run. And I think we know who that is. And I'm just like, all of this is just more theater. It's always fake. It's always theater. It's always opposing factions and causing strife and separation and these opposites. And really, the opposites are actually the same thing. But it's just so funny to me how it just is on and on and on with this stuff in America. And it's like, it feels so good to come live somewhere that is like normal. Like the government, I'm not going to say any governments are really great, but at least the government actually kind of is thinking about more the best interests of the people more so than the game and the power plays and the control and the theater, the political aspect, the political theater that's being played in the kabuki theater. It's just really, it's weird. Like I find the U.S. to be very strange, very facaded, like I always say, just a very odd place. For those who like it there, I get it. You feel like you're somewhere that's very influential to the rest of the world and whatever. So I get what the draw is, but when I'm in the States, I'm just like, what is this? Like, I don't feel, I'm not saying there's not a lot of like really cool and, good people there. I'm not saying that, but it's just the energy. There's something in like the frequency of the place. It just feels strange. And so when I come here, I'm not trying to hype up Brazil like it's some perfect place because it isn't, but You know, when I come here, like you feel more grounded. Even today, I was at the park. Check out the live stream I did from the park when we were out looking for the little macacos, the little monkeys that there are here. Still monkeys in the trees here, you know, in this city. And we were out looking for them at a park near the house where we stay, and I was just took off my shoes and was just doing some grounding, like some earthing, like really just earthing, you know. So it's good to do that. It's good to have places you go that make you feel that. Obviously, anywhere you go in nature is usually going to make you feel really like rooted and connected. But I think that's very important because right now there's so many frequencies. I was looking at a video today of a woman talking about how to not become a human antenna because of all the electronics and the devices and the frequencies around us. It's like you just end up like becoming a part of that whole matrix system. And, you know, the next thing you know, you're, you know, bing, thing, you know, it's like your frequency is getting picked up on. It's real strange what's going on out here right now. Like, you almost want to be more cloaked, you know, and finding ways to cloak yourself. I mean, some people, they do cloaking, they use Faraday cages, all their electronics go into Faraday. They, you know, they are doing everything they can so that they're not constantly being invaded energetically. And I think we need to be thinking about that some more because it is getting strange. Even like with social media, I've like been on social media for years now. I need to take like a long break. I'm definitely not as like busy on like Instagram and Facebook as I used to be, but I'm definitely pretty solid here on YouTube. Just because I'm just a YouTuber like that. But I will say that it's time for a break, and boa noite. And it's time. Boa noite. And it's time, you know, just to do something different, really, and to back off of this social media thing for a while because it gets to where you're almost numbed out. Like it's just like the same stuff, same. Everybody's showing the same videos. They're commentating on the same videos. I'm seeing the same things over and over again, and it's like it gets you in like this brainwashable state where they can just input ideas into your head, especially like TikTok. You know, TikTok's really intense with that. I'm just tired of it. So it's nice to just be able to just connect. Sometimes you just need to go deal with nature because all that other stuff is doing too much. And so I'm glad that I'm in a city, but I can still go and do that. It's not the same as maybe living in the earth, literally, like on the island we usually live on, or somewhere like in Costa Rica where we were living before, up in the by the volcanoes there in Fortuna, and up that way. It's maybe not the same, but you know, it is what it is, and I'm so grateful. So yeah, let's see if anyone comes on. Hope everyone's having a great night. I would love to hear where everybody's at with just some of what is happening politically in the U.S. and where you think things are going from here. So there's just a lot of shift and change occurring. So I'm gonna wait a few more minutes. If nobody comes on, I'm about to head out because look, could be doing something else too. I just like to pop on here and say what up, y'all. I had gotten an interesting question asked of me on underneath one of my videos recently. It was a sister who had seen me, greetings, who had seen something I had posted underneath one of Stephanie Perry's videos. And Stephanie Perry is a lovely sister who travels all over the world. And she's just like, look, sisters, y'all need to get free. Stop being stuck on this, being, you know, in the U.S. and you know, looking, you know, kind of trying to create this American dream for yourself. That's probably not going to happen. Just go ahead and get out in the world and experience things. And so I had posted something on there, just made a comment. It was kind of related to the video that she had up, right? And the sister posted under one of my videos. She found me and came over here and she wanted to know more about like race relations here in Brazil. And I just recently done a video about that, in terms of, what it's like to be brown here. I mean, obviously Brazil is a super brown country, but you wouldn't necessarily know it contingent upon where you are. Like, I'm in the state of Sao Paulo right now. Everyone had always had the impression Sao Paulo is super white, whatever, and it on surface is, especially in the center where it's more expensive. It's the most expensive part of the country and everything. But as you expand out, you start to see just how colorful Brazil is. And sadly, you also get to see how poor brown people are in this country. So it's a very vast divide. But there's like tons of brown people in this country. Like, it's massive. They say the black people, and I don't really know what that is all the way, but that's a term we use, that there are more black people in the country of Brazil than anywhere else in the world outside of Nigeria itself, because Nigeria, got population. Okay, so that's a big number. That's a big number. So there's a lot of us in this country, or those of us that are very mixed or whatever. But because of the way that they have created this huge gap, in terms of wealth here, and I don't know if that's starting to close up. I mean, this was information that I was really privy to like 20 years ago when I was really heavy into Brazil and studying Brazil. And I was going to college and, working with scholars that had written all kinds of works on the history of Brazil and slavery in Brazil and all that stuff. So when I was in that was the thing. Like, the wealth gap was really immense between brown people and the small percentage of like actual like white folk. And white folk here is like Portuguese people with their ancestors from Portugal, Germans. There's a lot of Italians here, but the Italians, had immigrated here. The Germans immigrated here. They all immigrated, right? But the Portuguese were were colonizing this place. And so, it's just really interesting because there is this incredible wealth gap. And sadly, I move around here a little more free because I'm American. So even though they're not really used to seeing me and my children, I got a black boy and I've got, my daughter, and here we are. We move around here, and we like it a little more nicer. We're not wealthy at all, but we like to have, a pretty high standard of living. And so we move around these neighborhoods where they're not used to seeing us unless we're coming to work, like as servants and shit like that. Now we're in a more mixed hood. Like, it's cool here. There's brown people here. There's different people in this hood. But before, we were living in a neighborhood, Villa Madalena, that was like, you knew everybody that had brown skin that was walking around over there was there going to work in someone's house, either watching their kids, cleaning their house, you know what I'm saying? Something like that. So it's a trip now, but we can live in these hoods and stuff because obviously the American dollar can afford us that, right? But if they were going by having to live off of the local AI, the local AI currency here, it's really hard. It's hard to get ahead. And I heard my boy Phil was telling me that the really sad thing about this place is that people of color, they can't really get ahead because they make it so hard on them to get into college, to study, to do things. Like, it's like they have to work 10 times, 20 times, 30 times harder even to achieve these things. So yeah, the racial thing is real out here. It is. And sadly, as Americans, when you come somewhere and you have American dollars and you have, money from overseas and stuff like that, it's almost like it whitens you. They even have a term for that here. It's an older term. I don't know if they use it presently, but they call it brancamento, whitening. So it's like the money, like you just being foreign and not being an Afro-Brazilian and being from somewhere else and coming with other currency whitens you. So that's a deep thing. Like, I don't try to sugarcoat things. It's not cute here in regards to those issues. Those issues are real, but I think there are improvements taking place because most places in the world are realizing that you're gonna have to keep moving forward, letting people of color come forward with whatever they got. You can't just stop progress. And that's what that is. And so they are having to shift. But years ago we would say, maybe like 20 years ago, we were saying that this country was stuck more like in the 1950s, 1940s, about 20 years ago. So they were like 40, 50 years behind places like the United States in terms of race relations and stuff like that. So I could say, yeah, it's a lot of movement that needs to take place, a lot more progression that needs to take place. But overall, you won't have too many outright negative experiences with them. They're very subtle too, the local white folk here. So you can sense their discomfort with you even being in the environment, but at the same time, they check themselves. Shit, sometimes I be checking them Karen videos out in the US, and I'm like, oh, these people, they are unhinged. They don't even try to check themselves. They just come outright with all of it. And I'm not sure which one I would rather prefer, but I think, you stay in your place. I'm going to do what I do. We all going to just live together. You don't got to like me. I really don't care because I ain't got no interest in you no way. You know what I mean? I'm not racist or race. I got friends of all, whatever. But I'm not overly pressed to get to know none of these people. So it's like, you stay over there and I'm going to stay over here. We good. We can interact and have harmony, and that's how we do that. Not looking for friends. So it works and it's cool here, but I do concern about my son. I do have a son, and we know that can be a lot more politicized and a lot more feel a lot more abrasive for less tanned people. And so, I do think about him and getting older and us being here long term, because we were living in the Caribbean where pretty much everybody looks like us. So it's brown folk, it's black folk in the Caribbean. So we were cool. It was barely ever any kind of racial thing you'd have to deal with, even though they did have like little pockets of like white people that were living out there from the U.S., mostly from the U.S. because I was in an American territory. And they would try to bring their shit over, but they got clowned every time. Like, it's bad. Like, U.S. Virgin Islands people don't play, right? About letting you know when you're not welcome. So there's a lot of weird race stuff going on over there, but overall, I have friends of all types. I love all kinds of people. I don't give a damn. But, if you got some funny energy with me, I'm not studying you like that. So you just stay in your place and we good. In your place being check yourself, keep it to yourself. If you got an issue with me and my children moving around in spaces where you're not used to seeing people that look like me, get over it. So that's how we live, and we'll go anywhere we want on this planet. I don't care. I'm not shy. I'm not nervous around nobody. I'm fine. So, other people just need to get over it. And that's what it comes down to. So, yeah. So, yeah, Brazil is complicated. It's complicated with race issues and all of that, race relations. But at the end of the day, the whole world is complicated, right? America's weird as fuck. So, it is what it is. The whole region is strange. So, yeah, who's on? You have any questions? Feel free to ask me any questions. I'm just running my mouth about, what it's like being black here and whether that's a better thing or more difficult or whatever. But if you have any questions, feel free to put them in the chat. If not, I'm about to come up off of here because I got some stuff I need to take care of, some YouTubing I got to do. All right, I'm about to come up off of here. Hope you guys have a wonderful evening. Peace and love.